Good morning. Welcome back. You're watching Breakfast Television for your business news now. He's back. Horizontal Mike Eppel. Hello.
Figured it all out.
We figured out what happened.
Technical wizardry. Got it all figured out.
That lock button.
It was the cross-circuiting to be that saved us.
You're good, Mike. Nice to see
Famous
you again.
Star Trek references. Good morning.
Which Star Trek?
The original.
Okay. I got to get back there. Sorry. I considered myself a Trekkie. I got problems. Okay. Let's go back. Let's travel south of the border, shall we?
Yes.
And see what is going on. Interest rates.
Look, it's going to be an historic day out of the U.S. Central Bank. They're going to raise interest rates today, another 0.75%, maybe even go a full 100, although they've never done that in the past, to fight inflation, Melanie. And the U.S. inflation rate is still north of 8%. Ours here at home, the inflation rate at 7%. Stats Canada data in yesterday morning, and price pressures are continuing, even though they said, well, inflation cooled from the earlier parts of the summer, but 7%. And I think the bottom line here too is that it's hitting us every time we go to the grocery store, with grocery prices up 10.8% year over year, biggest yearly increase since 1981. So consumer goods have just skyrocketed in price over the summer. Wages have not kept pace by any measure. The average wage increase is actually elevated at 5.4%, but a lot of people didn't get that. Again, it's an average. So, central banks are raising borrowing costs. That's the double whammy of this. Borrowing money is going to get more expensive. More people are turning to consumer debts and credit cards, and it's just this spiral that will probably lead to a recession at some point. The central banks aren't saying that out loud, but that's pretty much what you need to bring inflation under control. And that by doing so, they're going to do that by raising interest rates. And it's going to be a big day out of the States today.
Sure will. Let's talk about this. We're following reports, multiple sources saying that the feds are going to be dropping COVID-19 restrictions coming into Canada. Let's break this down, what it means and when it could be impacting all of our travelers.
Yeah, more American tourists potentially. And this has been something that has been called for months now by border cities, specifically Niagara Falls. Their tourist numbers over the course of the summer, and if this does take effect September 30th, well, then they've missed pretty much the entirety of the summer travel season. But city officials in Niagara Falls have been saying, look, our numbers from the U.S. Travelers coming across the Rainbow Bridge, they're down substantially, 40-50% from what they've been pre-pandemic levels. So maybe this, again, gets a little bit easing of the border travel. I don't know if it's going to help or hinder what's been going on at the airports, if that just means another influx of travelers for the airports and airlines to deal with. We will see. But theoretically, it should be a positive for the economy.
Okay, so we'll be watching that when it gets officially confirmed here. But again, we're just waiting on that from the feds. Also, you are keeping an eye on energy prices, and this all coming from word from Russian President Vladimir Putin. So what did he say? Yeah,
this partial military mobilization of the citizens of Russia related to the war in Ukraine, which from a Russian standpoint, I think doesn't look to be going the way they thought it was going to, but it's an escalation again. And again, the worry is, as we get into the colder months, what does this mean for energy supply to Europe, to the UK, and the global energy complex? Up goes the price for oil on any type of saber-rattling by the Russian president, almost $88 a barrel again. The British government today, incidentally, announced a 40 billion British pound bailout for businesses, followed by another consumer bailout for energy prices. This was something British Prime Minister Liz Truss was talking about prior to the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. And of course, that was all delayed by the funeral. Now they're back to work and getting these programs in place. And Germany has actually just nationalized one of the largest natural gas companies in a 26 billion euro bailout. So the governments there are trying to do anything and everything, and they're spending huge dollars to try to stabilize the energy complex, because this is just crushing consumer. Their inflation rate there, what's it, well over 11%, and climbing in the UK and the Eurozone, it's up around there too. So this is it's an energy crisis. There's no easy way to put it right now, what's going on overseas.
Yeah, not at all. All right, Mike, appreciate your time as always. We'll check in with you again tomorrow.
All right. Talk soon.
Thank you.